This stop is West 146th Street and Malcolm X Boulevard. Next stop, Malcolm X Boulevard and West 145th Street. This stop is Malcolm X Boulevard and West 145th Street. Next stop, Malcolm X Boulevard and West 142nd Street. This stop is Malcolm X Boulevard and West 142nd Street. Next stop, Malcolm X Boulevard and West 139th Street. This stop is Malcolm X Boulevard and West 139th Street. Next stop, Malcolm X Boulevard and West 137th Street. This stop is Malcolm X Boulevard and West 137th Street. Next stop, Malcolm X Boulevard and West 135th Street. Transfers available to the 2 train and BX33. This stop is Malcolm X Boulevard and West 135th Street. Next stop, Malcolm X Boulevard and West 132nd Street. This stop is Malcolm X Boulevard and West 132nd Street. Next stop, Malcolm X Boulevard and West 129th Street. This stop is Malcolm X Boulevard and West 129th Street. Next stop, Malcolm X Boulevard and West 127th Street. This stop is Malcolm X Boulevard and West 127th Street. Next stop, Malcolm X Boulevard and West 124th Street. Transfers available to M60 SBS, M101 Limited and M125. This stop is Malcolm X Boulevard and West 124th Street. Next stop, Malcolm X Boulevard and West 122nd Street. This stop is Malcolm X Boulevard and West 122nd Street. Next stop, Malcolm X Boulevard and West 119th Street. This stop is Malcolm X Boulevard and West 119th Street. Next stop, West 116th Street and Malcolm X Boulevard. Transfer available to M116. This stop is West 116th Street and Malcolm X Boulevard. Next stop, West 116th Street and 5th Avenue. Transfer available to M1. This stop is West 116th Street and 5th Avenue. Next stop, East 116th Street and Madison Avenue. Transfer available to M1. This stop is East 116th Street and Madison Avenue. Next stop, East 116th Street and Park Avenue. This stop is East 116th Street and Park Avenue. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 116th Street. Transfers available to the 6th train, M101 Limited and M103. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 116th Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 114th Street. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 114th Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 110th Street. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 110th Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 106th Street. Transfer available to M106. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 106th Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 104th Street. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 104th Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 102nd Street. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 102nd Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 100th Street. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 100th Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 98th Street. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 98th Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 96th Street. Transfer available to M96. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 96th Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 94th Street. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 94th Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 92nd Street. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 92nd Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 89th Street. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 89th Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 86th Street. Transfers available to the 4 and 5 trains and M86 SBS. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 86th Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 83rd Street. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 83rd Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 79th Street. Transfer available to M79 SBS. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 79th Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 77th Street. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 77th Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 74th Street. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 74th Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 72nd Street. Transfer available to M72. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 72nd Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 70th Street. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 70th Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 68th Street. Transfer available to M66. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 68th Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 64th Street. Transfers available to the F and Q trains. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 64th Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 62nd Street. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 62nd Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 59th Street. Transfers available to the N, R and W trains in Q32. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 59th Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 56th Street. Transfers available to M57 and M31. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 56th Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 52nd Street. Transfers available to the E and M trains. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 52nd Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 50th Street. Transfer available to M50. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 50th Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 46th Street. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 46th Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 42nd Street. Transfers available to the 7 and S trains, Long Island Railroad, Metro North and M42. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 42nd Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 40th Street. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 40th Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 37th Street. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 37th Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 34th Street. Transfers available to M34 SBS and M34A SBS. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 34th Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 31st Street. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 31st Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 28th Street. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 28th Street. Next stop, Lexington Avenue and East 26th Street. This stop is Lexington Avenue and East 26th Street. Next stop, East 24th Street and Lexington Avenue. This stop is East 24th Street and Lexington Avenue. Next stop, 3rd Avenue and East 23rd Street. Transfer available to M23 SBS. This stop is 3rd Avenue and East 23rd Street. Next stop, 3rd Avenue and East 20th Street. This stop is 3rd Avenue and East 20th Street. Next stop, 3rd Avenue and East 17th Street. This stop is 3rd Avenue and East 17th Street. Next stop, 3rd Avenue and East 14th Street. Transfers available to the L train, M14A SBS and M14D SBS. This stop is 3rd Avenue and East 14th Street. Next stop, 3rd Avenue and East 11th Street. This stop is 3rd Avenue and East 11th Street. Next stop, 3rd Avenue and Astor Place. Transfer available to M8. This is the last stop. This stop is 3rd Avenue and Astor Place. This is M102 to East Village 6th Street. A fare is required to ride.